You are listening to the Motherhood Unstressed podcast, and I'm your host, Liz Carlisle. Welcome back. Welcome to another new week. I'm so glad that you're here. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, I'm so glad that you found the show. And most likely, if this is the first time you're tuning in, you're probably thinking of switching over to a natural deodorant or wondering why that's even a thing. Why would that matter? Or your kids are getting to the point where they're starting to stink and you're wanting to give them a healthier, more natural choice. And this is kind of an interesting story because I met the founder of the company, the guest today, Sara Salter. I actually met her husband at Expo East when I was there as a member of the press. And I got, heard that it was a company founded by two moms, which I thought was really cool. I took some product home and, kind of just went on with my life. Well, I was using the product every single day and noticing that it actually had worked because, someone interested in holistic health, I've tried every natural deodorant underneath the sun, and either they never worked or they kind of quit working after a couple weeks. But this one didn't. Like, it actually really was an amazing product. So I was like, I have to talk to her. I have to reach back out before she absolutely blows up in the world and pick her brain, get her story, and really understand from her perspective why a natural deodorant is so important for our health. Again, it's something so small. It's something that we don't really think about. But it's a major thing. You guys remember I had the director of Stink, that documentary that's on Netflix, talking all about fragrances and how crazy that is for our health and how, fragrances are in everything and how bad they are. And so this is another aspect of that mission, enlightening you, educating you on how dangerous aluminum is and heavy metals and why you absolutely should not be putting that on an area of your body where, you're supposed to detoxify. You're not supposed to gunk it all up and block it. So without further ado, please enjoy my episode with Sara. I hope you learn a lot. I hope you walk away with a newfound understanding of health and really just be in a position to protect yourself and your children. If you love this episode, of course, please share it with a friend. Please share it to your Instagram stories and tag us at Motherhood Unstressed. Follow us on Instagram, connect with me, all the things. Enjoy. This episode is sponsored by Motherhood Unstressed CBD. You can pick up your organic, third-party tested CBD in stores around the country or at motherhoodunstressed.com. Well, hello, Sara. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here. I love speaking with entrepreneurs, female founders, and also mothers. So you kind of hit all the check marks here. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so kind of diving right in, how did your company, Shining Light, come to be?
This is my favorite story. I have two boys, David and Wyatt. One is 12 and one is 10. And when they were 9 and 7, David came home from lacrosse practice and smelled it was awful. My baby stunk. And it all of a sudden happened. It was not a gradual thing. It went from, we would cuddle and it was just normal little boy smell. And then he smelled like a stinky man. And first of all, I cried because, it's sad that when our kids are growing up, it's also happy. It's a new stage and, embrace that. But I was sad. And then I thought, hey, what am I going to do? How am I going to, actually tackle this? I was at the time using a deodorant with aluminum, just, from the pharmacy. But I read some things and thought, you know what? I don't really want to put that on my child. And my really good friend, Christy, was definitely more into the natural product life than me completely. And I called her one day and said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm making deodorant. And I thought to myself, well, that's a little strange, but cool. Can I have some of that deodorant you make, Christy? And she said, sure. So she put some in a tube and we had all the kids together and she brought it for me and I tried it on David and I tried it on myself. And I called her immediately and was like, and said, Christy, this is amazing. And she said, well, it took me over a year to come up with this recipe. I was tired of wasting my money on natural deodorants that didn't work. And I tweaked and came up with this recipe. And I give it to people at my CrossFit gym and my friends. And I said to her, I said, Christy, you've got to stop giving it away. Let's sell it. Let's sell this deodorant. And that is how we started our company, was for a safe deodorant for our children and for our entire family because now I use it as well. And so it all started with my stinky boy coming home from lacrosse.
I love that. And really our stories are kind of similar being introduced to this deodorant, because little backstory here for the listener, I was at Expo East covering as a member of the press and just walking through the aisles and aisles of different companies, meeting with brands, talking to brands. And I met your husband, and he, said, gave me a really quick blurb about the company. I thought, oh, that's cool. And gave me some product to try. And then I went on my way. And I got home from the craziness of Expo East and started trying it out. And it was like a screeching moment in my life, because this was the first time that I'd used a natural deodorant and it worked. And I mean, and I'm not saying like, oh, it worked for a week and then it went away. No, I've been using it now for 3 weeks and it's still working and it smells glorious. And that's when I reached out to you, because I was like, this is incredible. What is this? Who are these people? What are they doing? Because like I said before, I've tried every natural deodorant on the market. My husband's tried every natural deodorant on the market and nothing has really worked. And so I always kind of go back to the original stuff with all the crap in it. So this, I don't know, what your formula is, but it's incredible. But yeah, just to give you, because I think I had the same reaction as you did when you tried her product. So I'm so glad that you convinced her to take it on a larger scale, because I think it's so important. So why was it for you? Obviously you're a mother, you care about your children. Why was it easier for you to look after him rather than yourself? Why did it take that for you to say, okay, I don't want to expose my child to chemicals, even though I've been exposing myself?
Right. It was a wake-up call, honestly. It was a wake-up call. I thought the exact same thing. I thought, you know what? I can't do everything healthy and natural in my life, but I can pick a few things. And this is one that is an easy switch. And it's something I can do that can make a difference. It could help prolong my life, and it's a good example. And so I just decided, hey, well, why not? David's going to do it, so I'm going to do it, and we're going to switch the entire family over. So I did, and I am so glad that was something that a change that I chose, that I decided to make for the entire family. And that's why David was going to do it. And I thought, why not?
Yeah. And what is the thing that, women listening to this who may know, like, yeah, I've heard about aluminum. What should they really know about the dangers of, traditional deodorant versus what you guys have?
Okay. Well, the thing is, I'm not a doctor, and they're very careful to say aluminum causes cancer. That's not out there. But I have read enough to know I don't want to put aluminum, especially on my armpits, because the aluminum in antiperspirants blocks sweat. That's the job. That's what it does. So it's an antiperspirant. Sweat's not going to get out. My business partner, Christy, and I, our slogan that we actually trademarked is, it's okay to sweat. It's not okay to stink. So we just say no aluminum. With what we've read with ties to breast cancer. I have Alzheimer's in my family, and I also had a breast cancer scare. And I just really believe that with your lymph nodes and sweating, things need to get out. Let's not block it with aluminum. Let's not block that area. And that is why I really feel strongly about not using aluminum or anything with toxins on my body.
Yeah. And I think intuitively too, as women, like your body works in a certain way. It's supposed to, like you said, detoxify and get stuff out. And I think so many people are afraid to sweat. They think it's a gross, nasty thing. But like, honestly, when I was wearing the deodorant, I was at the gym. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the gym test. And I was sweating. Like, it felt good. I wasn't stinky, and it actually felt good to sweat. When I would use traditional deodorant and not sweat, like I would get hot flashes almost. Like it would not feel it would feel off. And, I think so many people think, well, this is just how it has to be. I don't want to be a stinky person. But now it's like you do have different options that are so much healthier, so much safer for you and your kids.
Absolutely. And I have to be honest with you, it is a bit of a lifestyle change with things. Like, I'm not going to wear a silk dress in the summer with my deodorant. With my, the deodorant or antiperspirant I used to wear, I could totally do that. And I would not sweat. and I could wear my silk whatever, or, so I have changed my wardrobe, but my dry cleaning bill has definitely gone down a lot because I'm not dry cleaning all of these, silk fabrics and things like that. But that's one thing. I am going to sweat, but I don't sweat as much. I find the longer you use natural deodorant, your body, because it's able to do what it needs to do and detox and let things out, it doesn't do it all at one time. So I find that I sweat less.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do you recommend any kind of I've read about armpit detox cleanses?
Oh, yes.
Can you talk to us about that?
Okay. All of our bodies are different. And so what works for me, just like what natural deodorant works for you and I, another one might work for somebody else. So I always say, hey, if our natural deodorant doesn't work for you, I'm sorry, but don't give up. Try another one, because there are so many natural deodorants out there, wonderful companies that stand behind their products, and different ones work for different people. The same thing goes with the armpit detox. My business partner, Christy, she just cold turkey quit using aluminum deodorant, and she did not have this formula at the time. So she was very stinky, she says, for 2 weeks. And she said it was awful. She's a tennis player. She said it was so bad. And then she started trying natural deodorants that didn't work, and then came up, I told you that story, came up with this formula, found one that worked, and it was great. For me, I had the formula when I went through my detox. And I did not do a cleanse. Some people do witch hazel or put coconut butter on. I think there are products out there that are detox cleanses. I just started using the natural deodorant. I went straight to it. I did not put it on right after shaving. That's a mistake I think some people make when they first start. And I also applied a tiny bit, because with our deodorant, as you know, a little goes a long way. You do not need a whole lot of deodorant. And it's not like the swiping we're used to doing. It's more of just like a little twist, and you let your body heat kind of just with the deodorant go together, and you just twist it on each side, and that's it. And you don't have to reapply throughout the day. At least I don't.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't either. And that was something that even with traditional deodorant, I was sometimes having to either just take a shower, because let's be real, I live in Atlanta, it's hot and humid, right. But I haven't noticed that with this. And so that to me was another reason why I was like, okay, hold on, this is different. This is kind of special. I'm loving that. And just, we try to do the best for our kids in this family. And I know all the listeners as well. That's kind of the gist of this show. And so to do something like this, something small like this, where on an intuitive level and, on a mental level, that this is actually something really beneficial, especially when they're so young, and that to me is really, really important. Our kids are already exposed to so many horrible toxins in the food system in America. Don't barrage their poor little bodies any more than already are with, toxins that you're putting on them. And every, all of their friends are like, oh, I don't want to be stinky either. So there's definitely that peer pressure.
Now, it only works for the kids if they wear it.
Right.
That's what we say. We say to our kids, you cannot be the stinky kids in school. Your mother owns a deodorant company. It only works if you put it on. So we do say that. And they also, not putting toxins on their bodies is so important. Personally, for me, them seeing me try to make a positive difference, a mom working to make a positive difference, and I involve them in the company. We involved our children. The children named all of the scents. That's why we have a scent named Sick Nasty Defense. My son David. Yeah, so the kids were part of the company, part of the story, and take pride in what we do and are proud of what we're doing. We say be good, do good, and smell good.
That's fabulous. I love that. And that leads perfectly to my next question is, what is the mission of your company? What's the impact that you want to make in the world?
We said we want to make the world a less sticky place, one person at a time. That's what we always say. We want to make positive changes, even if it's a small difference. Even if we have one person who was wearing an unhealthy deodorant, switch to our deodorant and choose a natural deodorant. And then after the natural deodorant, maybe there's other changes they make in their lives. Maybe they start eating better, or maybe they start exercising more. If we can inspire one person to be a better version of themselves, then I feel like our business has succeeded. That's at the end of the day, it's about lifting people up and making a positive difference and giving people healthy choices and healthy choices to make and steering them that direction. Even if it's not our deodorant, maybe it's not even a natural deodorant, but maybe it's going for a walk every day. If we can inspire people to lead a healthier life, then that's what we want to do.
I love that. I love it. And I think, small changes like that really do swing a big door. Something as simple as picking up, a natural deodorant. But I do think it does come back to having a product that actually really works. That's actually really quality, because you can have the best intentions in the world and have a crap product and, basically forgotten. So I definitely think that you guys are going to be a great success, which is why I'm having you on the show early before you blow up.
You are too kind.
I mean it. I'm being 100% honest. But what's been the biggest lesson in your entrepreneurial journey so far?
Okay, this is crazy, but when we first started our company, it was named Smiley Tits, which is a super cool name, amazing name. We loved it. And we were happy with that name. We went and applied for our trademark, did everything, operated under that name for about a year and a half, and did pretty good. We were about 50 stores with that name, and we're growing. And a Belgian company ended up buying the word Smiley, and they went after us and shut our website down. We were not making any money. We were just two employees, Christy, my business partner, and myself, trying to start up this farmer's market, doing what you do when you first start a business, trying to share your product. And it was devastating for us, because we had to change our name. We had to pretty much start from scratch, change our label, change our website, change our emails, tell our kids who helped us come up with that name. And it was one of those moments where, okay, do we just give up and say, hey, we tried this, it was fun, we did it for a year and a half, we got into some Whole Foods, we got into, this was great. Or do we continue and deal with the hard? And we decided, literally, the situation stinks, but we are not going to let it get us down. We are going to continue with what we're doing. So we met with our trademark attorney, came up with so many names. It is so hard to actually get a name of a business when you want to trademark it and do all the things that you want to do with it. So we came up with Shining Light. It's not, it's a good name. I think the names of our scents kind of make up for our name not being as exciting. But that was a huge challenge when everything seemed to be just falling and not working out, our name, everything we built, instead of giving up, and just working even harder to develop a wonderful business and a brand that people recognize.
Oh man, I love that. That's so inspiring. That's so expanding. And I know that so many people listening have had a moment like that where you're at a crossroads and you're like, God, what do we do? Like, this is a headache.
Like, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't let your kids see you give up. Just keep going and it'll work out. It just will.
Did your kids ever say anything to you after the fact when you persevered and pushed through? Did they ever say like, man, Mom, like that was really awesome what you did?
My oldest, he did. David saw and said, wow, Mom, he sees how hard I work. And we do a cycling event every year. I'm on the board of it, like outside of my business, it's called Crush Cancer. And it's all the proceeds go to Memorial Sloan Kettering for rare cancer research. And Smiley Tits had a team. And then he said, Mom, you can't not do, your deodorant anymore because, we have our team. So we have to keep going so that we can raise money for Crush Cancer. And that really spoke to me, because not only did he want me to continue going on the deodorant journey, but he also cared about giving back to the community. So I felt like that was a really good mom moment.
Man, like how often, I know this happens in my life, how often are your children kind of like your own conscious coming through? It's like, it's a mirror for how you want to be in the world. For me, at least, that happens almost every day. Like I'll be, in my mind or like stressed out about something, and my oldest will say something to me and it'll just like stop me in my tracks.
Oh, absolutely. It's like one of the reasons I started this was because when David was 9, he said, Mom, you're always talking about doing something. Why don't you actually do it? and I thought, I do want to talk about starting a business. Yes, I'm like, I'm raising you and your brother, and I'm on these nonprofit boards. Stop it already. But I always talked about starting a business, and then it just fell into my lap, literally, with what happened with David being stinky and all of that. So I actually did it. I thought, okay, let's do it. And so we did.
God, I do think it though. It's like we do manifest, we do attract the things that we're ready for. Like the second that we make a decision just mentally and put it out into the world, things do align in such a way and you start to see a path. I mean, it seems like that's kind of what happened to you. I mean, it was like you had this thought, okay, I'm going to do something. And then like how long after that did you start the company?
It was probably a couple of months after that we started it.
Which is not that long. I mean, that's not that long at all.
No. That's nothing. And I will tell you, if someone told me I was going to have a natural deodorant company 5 years ago, I would have looked at them like they were crazy. I mean, my hair is dyed blonde. I am not one of these. I love to work out. I love yoga, but you would not call me a natural product mom. I'm not the typical. So if someone told me that, I would have said, you are crazy. But here I am.
I love that. I love that. This has been such a fun conversation. Is there anything?
This is great.
No, is there anything major that you want to leave with the listener? Some great takeaway?
My takeaway is, first of all, if you're even thinking about switching over to a natural deodorant, give it a try. Try any one that you think. Go look at reviews, talk to your friends, but just try it and don't give up. And also, start your kids out. They don't know the difference. Start them out with a natural deodorant. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for your kids because their bodies won't go through a detox. They can start off using a healthy deodorant that works. That's what I would say. And I would also say to never give up on your dreams. I know that sounds kind of dorky, but just don't give up, even when adversity comes your way, because especially for the moms out there listening, let your kids see you work through the hard. I think that kids these days, a lot of times, a lot of things are handed to them. We try to keep struggles to a minimum, but working through the hard is important, and it's an important lesson. And let them see you do it. It doesn't matter which aspect of life it is, if it's with fitness, if it's with your job or any challenge in life, let them see you work through the hard to come out on the other side.
Oh man, I just got chills. That was beautiful. So well said.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I do have some rapid fire questions if you're ready.
Go ahead.
True health is?
Feeling good about yourself.
I like that. I'm grateful for?
My family.
And what's something that you've learned in life that you wish someone would have told you earlier on?
Always wash your face before going to bed. Seriously, no matter how late you stay up, no matter what you're doing, I can't tell you how many times in college I went to bed with mascara and makeup on and all that. Oh my goodness. And wash your face before you're going to bed, no matter what.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So where can the listener find you guys online, buy your product? Tell us all the things.
Okay. The listener can find us at shininglightdeodorant.com. And we are always having specials, discount codes, and all of that going on. We're on Facebook and Instagram, and we post codes constantly. We love to give that to our clients. Also, we're on Amazon as well. And then on our website, there's a list of stores on the East Coast where we are located, and we are expanding, and we are very easy to work with wholesale accounts as well. We're in different pharmacies, yoga studios, doctor's offices, grocery stores. The sky's the limit with our deodorant because it's a fun item that you can just pick up as you check out of pretty much anywhere.
Fabulous. I love it. Oh, I love it so much. This was such a fun conversation, Sara. Thank you for the work that you're doing in the world. Thank you for saving all of these countless kids from, heavy metals on their liver and in their systems. I mean, what you're doing is really, really important. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You have been listening to the Motherhood Unstressed podcast, and I'm your host, Liz Carlisle. If you found any kind of value out of this conversation today, please share us on your Instagram stories, tag us at Motherhood Unstressed, and hit those 5 stars. It literally takes 5 seconds to do that, and you will feel so good for giving back to the show if we have given anything to you. Have a great week. Love you guys.